Let's queer up the USA view. After California Library kicks out transphobic group, they get threatened with a bombing. Watch this.
I will give you one warning on that.
It was a packed room at the Mary L. Stevens Library on Sunday when the group Moms for Liberty Yolo County held their meeting.
Losing our rights to privacy, dignity, and safe sports.
A mom of two, Allie Schneider, was at the meeting and was in line to speak. The group called the meeting a fair and safe sports for girls, alongside a discussion about transgender students participating in sports.
Physical damage being done right now to girls and women who are forced to share their single-sex spaces with men and boys who call themselves women.
But within 10 minutes, Schneider says library staff kicked them out.
I'm asking you to leave.
Got completely drowned out and shoved out by the library official.
The group continued at a nearby park, but Schneider says she believes the library violated their rights to free speech.
It seems like they continue to put up roadblocks to keep us from, again, exercising our First Amendment rights.
Then on Monday afternoon, Davis Police and the Yolo County Sheriff's Office got a tip about a potential bomb threat at the same library.
It made a specific statement saying that the library was going to blow up at 3 p.m. And it made some type of a derogatory term towards the LGBTQ community.
About 10 library employees were evacuated as law enforcement searched the building.
No explosives were located.
We asked the sheriff's office if there is any possibility the bomb threat and the Moms for Liberty meeting were linked.
We don't know if there's any link to it at this time.
For Schneider, she says she has no idea who's behind the bomb threat and tells us she does not support that type of response. However, she does have a stern message for county officials.
We all have a First Amendment right, freedom of speech, freedom of assembly, freedom of belief.
A caller used anti-LGBTQ plus hate speech to issue a bomb threat against the library in Davis, California, near Sacramento. This forced the Mary L. Stevens Library and a nearby elementary school to evacuate. The threat came the day after a right-wing group tried to have an event at the library that didn't go as expected. On Sunday, the Yolo County chapter of Moms for Liberty, an anti-civil rights group, held an event attacking transgender athletes' inclusion in sports. As the event progressed, audience complaints prompted library staff to warn speakers that misgendering athletes violates the library's code of conduct. Library staff member Scott Love interjected and asked speakers to be respectful, or if they continue misgendering trans athletes, be asked to leave. Love explained that in California, under state law, transgender women are recognized as women. Sophia Laurie, a former college soccer player at Vanguard University, who was speaking at the event, continued her speech anyway and was soon joined by far-right anti-trans activist Aaron Friday. The event eventually came to a halt. In the evening, one conservative activist, Jonathan Zackerson, posted his account of the event on Twitter. Soon, the anti-trans activist Riley Gaines shared the post demanding the name and phone number of the librarian. The next day, before 3 p.m., police issued an alert in response to the bomb threat after several right-wing publications and blogs published articles on the incident. So this is obviously just a lot of fear-mongering from the Conservative Party. I think there's a lot of misinformation being spread about trans people and about sports in general. So first of all, people aren't binary. We have, obviously the categories of male and female, but not everybody falls in those categories, including myself. I'm an intersex person. I have higher levels of testosterone than the average person assigned female at birth. And I would automatically be disqualified if they took my hormone levels at any women's sports event. I mean, obviously I'm not a woman, but if I was. In addition, trans women have the same hormone levels as cis women. So I don't understand why they're making it a big deal when the biology is, not different. And in addition to that, male and female athletes have competed in the past. And actually, not surprisingly, there were a lot of cis women who outcompeted cis men, and that's exactly why they segregated the sport, because men couldn't take it.
I mean, I think we should be celebrating the diversity and the different biologies. Everyone is different. Some people are going to be faster. Some people are going to be better. And if that happens to be because of how they were born, which, as studies have shown, has a no statistical impact, why do we care? And
do you think, curious from your seat, do you think Moms for Liberty chapters are out to celebrate diversity?
No, but I think they should let people compete, and whoever's best, whoever's fastest is fastest. And I think, yes, they have a right to free speech, but we shouldn't be giving them a platform. I've missed whatever local station that was. Why are you giving them an opportunity in front of a camera?
Yeah.
Yeah, and saying things like freedom of speech, like, you know, where is that line that you cross before it like disrupts society, before you create a bomb threat scenario? Like we need to stop letting these people have this platform in that way, and then saying that, oh, poor me, I'm allowed to speak. You are allowed to speak, but you're losing every time, because now you're associated with a terrorist. Yeah. You're no longer in the safe zone where we can hear what you're saying. Now it's just you're on mute now.
There is freedom of speech within the United States to a certain extent. It's the same way that if the US goes to war with another country, you can actually get arrested and thrown into jail if you say anything against the United States. Free speech only goes to a certain extent until you are harming another human being with it. That's why there are children getting taken away from their parents for abuse.
Yeah. Unfortunately, here in America, they don't consider persecuting minorities as you know, a hurt or a violation of any sort. And that's, I think, the problem. They have absolutely no empathy for other people, and they just don't see it as a bad thing. They feel it as their right. Yeah.
I want to make a couple of observations about Moms for Liberty. Something interesting is going on in the story that I see, and I just want to draw a connection to. They're outside of Sacramento, and in California is overwhelmingly blue, overwhelmingly blue. And Moms for Liberty is saying over and over again, I have a First Amendment, I have a free speech right, I have a free speech right. Well, the reason why she, Karen, blonde hair, is saying that is because she's in California. And there's tremendous numbers of voices around her shouting her down in opposition to the point of view that she's doing. So her argument is free speech. But it's interesting, Moms for Liberty in Florida is very, very different than Moms for Liberty in California. Because in Moms for Liberty in Florida, they're not screaming free speech. They're screaming no speech. We don't want to hear from you. Compare and contrast to the different approaches. It proves to you it's not truth they're pursuing. It's their way.
Correct.
They're pursuing.
Absolutely.
The point and proof of that is, as I watch her, she wears a shirt that says female. Now, she did that to be highly offensive.
Yeah, obviously.
Because she has the First Amendment to say what she says. She has, of course, the First Amendment right to wear that shirt. But how would people feel if that exact same shirt said no blacks, no Jews, no queers?
Yeah.
It's the exact same thing. I take it one step farther, but she is pushing in everyone's face, there is only this. And meaning there is only this and this. It is binary. That is not true. It is not true. And then she argues for free speech. The other thing that I want to point out about Moms for Liberty, we say in this story, Pappy has just said it's an anti-LGBT group. Respectfully, I argue with you, because anti-LGBT doesn't even begin to quantify what Moms for Liberty is. And we sit right in it because our governor helped create Moms for Liberty and then export it all over the country. Moms for Liberty is an organization, and in general, you look at organizations, Southern Poverty Law Center, for example, they quantify organizations that are dangerous, that try to eliminate voice and speech. Isn't that what happened with Don't Say Gay? They're an organization that eliminates visibility and any presentation. In Florida, we don't even want to recognize that trans exists. And a cabinet member and the chairman of the GOP in Florida said, if you don't agree with Don't Say Gay and our implementation on trans, get the hell out of the state of Florida. That is an implementation that they are eliminating visibility. They want to deny that you are even existing.
Correct.
Now, in those three standards, almost any place in the world, what would you identify a group like that as? Which is Southern Poverty says.
Terrorist.
They're a terrorist group.
Yeah.
Moms for Liberty, I argue, is a terrorist group.
Absolutely.
Because they're not arguing for free speech. That's what they have to argue in Sacramento, California, to even speak
Correct.
with her female shirt on.
Yeah.
In Florida, they don't have to do that. So they are denying existence of a lot of people at this table. And for all intents and purposes, they want to deny that you even exist.
And the reason why is because they want to uplift the patriarchy, white supremacy, and all the things in power that keeps
There
them
it
empowered.
is. So put on your shirt, Nazi. Put on your shirt, white.
Perfect.
One point to that you made, though, about California versus Florida. You're 100% right, but I do want to emphasize to the people who might live in a more liberal place, you're not safe
Correct.
either.
Correct.
You know, there are
Absolutely.
plenty of red pockets, plenty of people who, she's there outside of Sacramento. That's a college town, first of all. It should be a little more liberal, but
Absolutely.
she's also in farm country.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and the motivations are kind of tired too. Like in Florida, their motivation is the children, that we're after the children. And trans people are known to be the safest people to be around. They've done nothing to any other community, and that is just tired. And this free speech is just as tired. And I think they need to move on from that.
The thing with Moms for Liberty is that they like to sugarcoat themselves. They're like, oh, we're moms, and they have the title.
So are trans people.
They have the title. They're like Liberty, Moms for Liberty, but they're not actually moms for liberty, because they're not thinking about, what if this was my child I was going against?
Yeah.
What if my little 11-year-old comes out to me?
Keep watching the only television news in the world from our LGBTQ plus community, and stay informed on everything that is important for and about our diverse LGBTQ plus community.